What's up, guys? We're here with Thursday night NFL football action for week 4. We're going to take a deep dive on the Seahawks against the Cardinals. I'll give up my favorite bets against the spread and over-under, and we're going to look at a bunch of player props. And on top of that, we're going to cover the entire MLB Thursday slate. So buckle up, we have a great video for you today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day. And let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and player availability being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, looking like a pretty good day out there across the board. Looking like a pretty solid MLB day. We got off to a good start there. We had the Tampa Bay Baltimore under 8.5. That was a 6-2 win for the Rays. Their pitching staff looked good enough to secure the win for us despite Wells having his worst start of the season there for Baltimore. So we'll take the win on that one. We also cashed Cleveland at -125. The nightmare continues for the Tigers as we see the Guardians get the 5-1 win behind a great start from Bivey, and Flaherty finally cools off after throwing the ball great for a few starts in a row there. We did break out on the Reds at -120, a tough 4-3 loss in extra innings there. The Reds waste a great start there from Hunter Green and waste some chances there in extra innings to win it, and they have to really figure things out quickly here or they're going to be missing the playoffs. We had the Red Sox at -140. Boston was almost our lock of the day. It would have worked out great as they come up with the 7-1 win behind a dazzling 8 shutout innings there from Crochet. Scherzer clearly doesn't have much left in the tank, and the Blue Jays find themselves in quite a bit of trouble. We had the Mets at +110 as our dog of the day. Really annoying. Apparently, I shouldn't have gotten tricked by Tong putting in one good start as he got absolutely demolished, and the Mets look like a team that's going to have a real hard time finding their way into the playoffs. We did cash our lock of the day. The super hot run on the massive lock of the day continues. Skeens and Hunter both delivered excellent starts right out of the gate. No runs allowed there in the first inning, so we cash our bet. We will definitely take that one. I don't know what this streak is that we're on with the lock of the day, but it's got to be several in a row. I'm saying like maybe 10 plus in a row, something like that. I would have to go back and check, but the lock of the day stays red hot. Hopefully it can stay red hot in this one, guys. We've got a ton of games to break down today, so we're going to dive right in here looking at our Thursday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks come into this game, I would say they're off to a pretty decent start to the year. A tough 17-13 loss there in week 1 against the 49ers, a game they definitely could have won. Then they took down the Steelers in a blowout 31-17. Then they demolished the Saints last week, easily cashing our lock of the day for us. They won that game 44-13. Loved what we saw from Seattle just across the board in that game pretty much. I mean, Darnold, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, completed 14 of 18 passes for over 200 yards. Not going to get a lot better than that. He also wasn't sacked in the game, so just excellent stuff there. We saw Kenneth Walker III not really having a great day running the ball. He had 2 touchdowns, but only 38 yards on 16 carries, so that wasn't great. Seattle hasn't been running the ball amazing, but with the way they were throwing the ball, it didn't matter last week. Jackson Smith and Najibba had a great game. Overall, just very, very good stuff out there. There was 1 turnover there from Seattle, but the defense generated 1 turnover of its own, only gave up 13 points, holding Spencer Rattler and company in check. I'm not really going to get too excited about that, but it was a very, very solid day out there for the Seattle defense, only giving up 13 points. And through their first few games here, guys, it's looking like this might be an excellent defense. They've given up 13, 17, and 13 points, respectively. That's pretty dangerous stuff. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report doesn't look terrible for them on offense. Anthony Bradford is questionable there at right guard, so we'll see if he's able to make his way back here on the short week. Don't have a lot of clarity on his situation. I do think there's a chance that he plays. In terms of the defense, they also look pretty healthy there. Maybe one starting linebacker could be possibly sidelined. He's still questionable. Haven't gotten a lot of updates on him this week either. So we'll see. But overall, the Seahawks look pretty healthy, especially considering the fact they're on a short week coming into this one. So we'll see what they can do against their NFC West opponent here in the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are 2-1 on the year. They just lost a 1-point game last week to the 49ers. They beat the Saints in week 1, 20-13, but that game was relatively competitive. They could have, they had a pretty decent lead there against the Panthers before making it look close at the end. I guess they played all right in that one, but that 16-15 loss against the 49ers last week did not exactly get me super jazzed up. You're losing games straight up to backup quarterbacks. That's not a good look. We didn't like what we saw from Kyler Murray at all. Completed 22 of 35 passes, 159 yards. That's an average of 4.5 yards per completion. That's a pretty big yikes. 1 touchdown, 1 sack. He ran the ball 6 times for 37 yards. Okay. The real devastating news for the Cardinals was James Conner going down, and he's going to be out for the season. So that sucks. Trey Benson was okay in limited action running the ball. We'll see what he's able to do. Marvin Harrison Jr. did not look great. 3 catches for 44 yards, had some big drops. could be getting the yips a little bit. I don't know what to say about him, guys. The kid looks great. He should be great. He's just not great right now. So we'll see how that goes. Defensively, they gave up only 16 points, but we were doing that against a backup quarterback. I'm not going to get too excited. Gave one touchdown pass, one interception. Almost let Mac Jones pass for 300 yards, though. Only had that one sack. They slowed down but did not stop Christian McCaffrey. He had a great day catching the ball out of the backfield. 10 catches for 88 yards. Ricky Pershaw was also amazing there in the passing game. Caught 8 of 11 targets for 117 yards. We saw San Francisco only have that one turnover, and the Cardinals defense hasn't really been tested this year at all. Like, this is going to be by far the best offense they face this season. You gave 22 points to the Panthers and 13 points to the Saints. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of great stuff to say about the Cardinals. I do think they're off to a decent start, but I'm not holding my breath for that to continue. Now, in terms of the injury report here for Arizona, that's looking pretty bleak. Zay Jones confirmed out for this game, so you're going to be missing one of their starting wide receivers. Paris Johnson Jr., questionable there on the offensive line. Evan Brown, also questionable. Will either one of these guys suit up for this game? Playing on a short week, it seems like it's possible. We did see Paris Johnson Jr. be a limited participant there in practice, so we'll see. It's definitely not looking like a lock that he's going to be out there, and we know for a fact that James Conner will not be. Now, on the defensive side, we do see Will Johnson listed as doubtful there, so they're probably going to be missing at least one starting cornerback, maybe going to be without one of their starting linebackers too. Akeem Davis-Gaither, questionable with that elbow issue. He'll probably end up playing, but will he be very effective? We will have to wait and see. In terms of the weather for this Thursday night football game, guys, it's going to be crazy hot there in Arizona. Now, I know they're playing in a dome, so it's not a huge deal, but that could be maybe just a little bit weird for Seattle. Like, they're not used to being 100-degree temperature. I know that's not going to be what's going on during the game, but maybe leading up to it could be a little bit weird. That might be a little bit of a reach. In terms of the numbers for this game, the Cardinals are getting 1.5. We've got a total of 43.5 in this one. Looking at the trends here, Seattle's 2-1 against the spread this year, 2-1 to the over. Arizona is also 2-1 against the spread. They are 2-1 to the under. In terms of a side in this game, I'm not getting sucked in on this one. Give me the Seahawks to get the comfortable win and cover on the road in this one. James Conner being out is a huge problem with the Cardinals. Zay Jones confirmed out is also an issue. Could be missing a couple guys on the offensive line. That is bad. Arizona is pretty banged up in the secondary as well. The defense in general is missing quite a few dudes who are just out for the season. This is not a healthy team. I've liked what I've seen from Seattle, especially on defense. I don't think we're going to see one of those implosion games from Sam Darnold, so definitely give me the Seahawks on the road in this one. I'm also not too worried about this being a very public play. I know it will be, but on these standalone games, that doesn't usually come into play as a huge deal all that often. In terms of the total for this one, it's going to be a slight lean towards the over for me. The over is 7-0 in the last 7 games the Cardinals have played at home, coming off a loss. The over is 3-1 in the last 4 Thursday night games at State Farm Stadium. I know those aren't massive leans. The total is not going to be anywhere in the pinned comment, but I will tell you that side definitely will be. Now, in terms of some player props for this game, right off the bat here, I like Kyler Murray under 211.5 passing yards at -110. Through the first 3 weeks, I've been underwhelmed with what I've seen from Murray, and especially his wide receiver group. Drops and the struggles he will have with the Seattle secondary are going to keep him under this number, and in his best game of the season, he only managed 220 passing yards, and he's going to be under pressure a lot in this game. I don't think we're going to see very good stuff here from Kyler Murray. On the other side, I like Sam Darnold under 29.5 passing attempts at -110. Over the first 3 weeks of the season, Darnold has only surpassed that number once, and that's when he threw the ball 33 times against the Steelers. But last week, in a blowout win over the Saints, he only threw 18 passes. I think they're going to want to keep him closer to 25-ish passes than getting him up to the 30 mark. So definitely think that play has some value. On the Cardinals side, I'll take Marvin Harrison Jr. over 46.5 receiving yards at -120. We obviously, see some injuries there in the wide receiver group. That could get him a couple extra targets. I know he had some big drops last week. I do think this kid has plenty of talent. He can certainly get open. I'm expecting a bounce back from him, thanks in part to the fact I expect the Cardinals to be trailing and to have to force the ball down the field. And honestly, this isn't a very big number. He could eclipse this number with maybe 2 catches. So definitely like Marvin Harrison Jr.'s over. I also like Sam Darnold here under 7.5 rushing yards at -115. He hasn't had a rushing attempt in the last 2 games. I don't think this is going to be a situation where he has to run much against a mediocre defense, and if they're leading in this game, I'm projecting there'd be no reason for them to be putting him at risk. So definitely think the under on Darnold's rushing yards is very, very live in this game. Now, guys, before we hop over and look at a very, very busy Thursday MLB slate, we got to shout out the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link down there in the description to go over to StumpTheSpread.com and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL, college football, NHL is right around the corner, and NBA season is right around the corner as well. So going to be a great, great time to be in there looking at those premium picks over at StumpTheSpread.com. They are an excellent value. They're there for you every single solitary day, rain or shine. You definitely want to get in on the action over there at StumpTheSpread.com. We've got a team of experienced cappers over there covering all the major sports. Each one has at least over a decade's worth of experience covering that sport. They use some very sophisticated tools and algorithms, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration on every single pick, every single projection. A ton of work is going into those plays every single day. So you definitely want to get over there and check that out. In terms of the results for those premium picks, we've still got quite a few games live here at time of recording, but off to a very good start. It's a full MLB slate over there, and right off the bat, the under there in that Washington-Atlanta game, that was good for a 1-unit play. We did have a push there on that Pirates-Cincinnati under 7, but cashed the Pirates as a 1-unit play. Well played there. Had the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati no-run first inning as well. That was a nice 1-unit win. Got some other plays still cooking. That Dodgers Diamondbacks under in the first 5 was looking good, and got some other irons in the fire. So hopefully it'll be a big winning day there for the premium members here on the 24th. Obviously, tons of NFL action coming up there for the premium members. College football this weekend, all that kind of good stuff. So definitely want to get in on that. Also, click that link down in the description to get over to StumpTheSpread.com and check out all the free stuff we offer. We've got free picks that are exclusively posted over there every single day. We've got a free pick up on one of the biggest college football matchups of the week already, so you want to get over there so you can take advantage of that early line. We all know those college football lines can move quite a bit. There's also our free to use bet size calculator, but maybe most importantly, you want to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com to get on our free email newsletter. It's a great resource. Every single day you'll get one email straight to your inbox. I'll have at least one free pick in it, oftentimes two. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, WNBA, all kinds of great information like that. And the WNBA picks, guys, they can end up behind the paywall next year because we've done so well on WNBA. So you definitely want to get on that free email newsletter. There are parlays included in that newsletter as well. It's a great resource, and all they need is for you to go over to StumpTheSpread.com, sign up for a free account. They just need your name and your email address, and you'll be on that email list. If you're having trouble getting those emails, by the way, check your spam folder. Sometimes that can be an issue. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video like you've been seeing right now, but more importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie here in just a couple more days. We do a Stump the Spread hoodie giveaway to one random channel member every single week. So definitely want to get in on that. We just put the name of every single channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live in the video and see who wins. And the winner gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address. So definitely want to get in on that if you guys are interested. But now let's go ahead and dive in. We've got a massive, especially for Thursday, MLB slate to cover. So we're going to get right after it here, guys. First up, we're going to be doing the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The Pirates come into this game 69-89 on the year, but they've won 4 in a row. Definitely playing spoilers here against the Cincinnati Reds, winning the first 2 of this series. Here in game 3, they're going to hand the ball to Brandon Ashcraft. He's sporting a 2.62 ERA. This young 25-year-old has come in and looked pretty good. His last time on the mound was a long relief appearance, but doesn't get much better than 3 innings, no hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts allowed in a 2-0 win. That was pretty dominant. His last start was against the Cubs, and that did not go as well. So we'll see. Maybe this kid's better suited for the bullpen, but really with the kind of stuff he's got, I'm expecting him to be pretty good. The last time he faced the Reds, 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed. He did strike out 5 and walk 1 in that game, so pretty solid stuff back in early August. So we'll see what Ashcraft can do, see if that Pirates bullpen can continue to look so good. Down to a 3.88 bullpen ERA. Very respectable. The offense isn't doing anything too special. I mean, 4, 11, 2, and 3 over their last few games. This is not a good offensive team, guys. They're last in the majors in runs scored. They're last in slugging percentage. Are they coming up with some clutch hits here recently? Sure, but I'm not about to throw this Pirates team a parade for the way they're hitting the ball. So we'll see what they can do against the Reds. You have to be in kind of in desperation mode. They've got to be stoked that the Mets lost, but really, they got to be winning these games. And dropping 2 against the Pirates is not a good look. They'll hand the ball in this one to Nick Lodolo, who's 8-8 on the season, a 3 3.44 ERA. His last 2 starts have been terrible. He got dismantled by the Athletics, dismantled by the Cubs. We'll see if he's got a bounce back in him here going up against the Pirates, a team he hasn't faced since May, and he was great in that start, but the way he's thrown the ball in his last couple of outings has not filled me with optimism. The Reds' bullpen hasn't been terrible down the stretch. A 3.95 ERA coming out of the pen isn't awful, but it's not great. And the offense got to figure something out. The last few games, guys, these were 3, 2, and 1 runs respectively. That is not going to work. They're 14th in runs scored this year, 21st in slugging percentage. Nobody's swinging the bat that hot for him right now. So we really, really need to see something better here from the Reds if they are going to find a way to make it into the playoffs there. I mean, currently they are 1 game back of the Mets. They got to win some games. That 1 game deficit is still a deficit. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Pirates are plus 135. The Reds are minus 165. We've got totals out there of 8 or 8.5. The Pirates are 24 and 52 on the road. 46, 27, and 3 to the under on the road. The Reds are 44 and 34 at home. 44, 26, and 8 to the under at home. I mean, the way these games have been going, guys, I'm going to lean towards under 8.5. I don't think it's going to make it into the pinned comment with Lodolo on the mound the way he's looked recently, but I do think it has at least some value here. In terms of a side, I'm going to take the Reds just because I think they're bound to bounce back and win a game, but with Ashcraft on the mound against them, it feels far from a lock. Rolling along here, guys, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays heading to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The Rays at 77 and 81 on the year just got the 6-2 win yesterday over the Orioles. They've been eliminated from playoff contention, but they're still playing at least kind of hard. They'll hand the ball in this one to my red-beard brother, Drew Rasmussen. He's 10 and 5 on the year, a 2.80 ERA. His last start, 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs against the Red Sox, an 11-7 loss. Kind of feels like he's maybe not that locked in here at the end of the year, or maybe he's just getting tired. The last time he faced Baltimore was back in June, and he had a pretty good start, but we did see the Rays lose that one 4-1. The Tampa Bay bullpen's been good all year long, a 3.69 bullpen ERA. The offense, though, has let them down. Now, the last couple games, I mean, 6-0 and 7 over the last few isn't terrible, but over the course of the year, this was supposed to be like a top 10 offense. That has not ended up being the case. They're very much around middle of the pack to slightly below average. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Orioles, who at 74 and 84 on the year have to be pretty disappointed with the fall off from last season. They're going to hand the ball to Cade Povich, who's 3 and 8 on the year, a 5.06 ERA. His last start was against the Yankees, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and a 7-0 loss. We'll see what he can do here against the Rays. He's been throwing the ball okay down the stretch, but definitely not amazing. The last time he faced... Oh, wait, he hasn't faced Tampa Bay this year. Yeah, he missed a big chunk of time with injury. So we'll see what he can do in this matchup. The Orioles' bullpen's been atrocious, so that's a pretty big concern. The offense has not been much better this year. 2, 6, 1, 1, and 4 over their last few games. 23rd in runs scored and 24th in batting average. Does not exactly fill me with tons of optimism. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Rays are minus 130. The Orioles are plus 110. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. Tampa Bay's 35 and 41 on the road, 38, 34, and 4 to the under on the road. The Orioles are 38 and 41 at home, 44, 33, and 2 to the under at home. Once again, I'm going to be leaning a little bit towards the under in this game. I don't think we're going to see a ton of offense. If this was fully locked and loaded Rasmussen, I would love the Rays in this spot, but overall, not a lot of value shown for me in this game. Next up, guys, are the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Twins at 69 and 90 have been eliminated for quite a while now. They took the 4-2 loss yesterday against the Rangers, who were just eliminated from playoff contention. The Twins will hand the ball in this one to Bailey Ober, who's 5 and 9 on the year, a 5.32 ERA. He looked terrible against the Guardians his last time on the mound and really has thrown the ball pretty poorly in 4 out of his last 5 starts. So we'll see if he's got a bounce back in him going up against the Rangers here, but he got obliterated by the Rangers back in early June. So we'll see how this one goes. The Twins bullpen is not reliable, not something that can help him if he gets in trouble. The offense, 2, 4, 6, 0, 0, and 2 over the last few games. The Twins are pretty banged up. They're clearly not really trying to win games anymore this year. So the fact they're down to 21st in runs scored and 22nd in batting average makes an awful lot of sense. Now, they're going to be taking on a Rangers team that didn't fully, I thought they would just kind of fold after getting eliminated from the playoffs. They did not. They won that game 4-2 there in game 2 of this series. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Tyler Mayhill. He's 6 and 3 on the year, a 2.20 ERA. His last start, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts in a 6-4 extra inning loss against the Marlins. That was not his fault. The last time he faced the Twins, though, back on June 10th, 5 2/3 innings, 10 hits, and 4 earned runs. That was more his fault, but some of those important guys for the Twins are not going to be hitting against him in this game. So we'll see how it goes. I actually think Mayhill's going to be okay in this one. I think the Rangers bullpen should be pretty good still. A 3.56 bullpen ERA has been among the 5 or 6 best in the majors this year. The offense has been terrible. 4-1, 2-3, 4-2, and 5 over their last few. That's why this team is not going to be playing in the playoffs. 22nd in runs scored and 26th in slugging percentage. Isn't going to get it done. Unfortunately, and I'm not sure why, we have no numbers out at time of recording for this game, so we'll have to wait and see. I do think there's a great chance we'll be leaning towards the Rangers. They are 47-32 at home this season, a very good home team. Both these teams showing trends towards the under as well, so the under might be in play also. We're just going to have to wait until the odds makers finally break down and give us the numbers for this game. Next on the docket, we got the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. The Astros and Athletics are playing right now with Houston down 1-0 there in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Astros in desperate need of these wins, guys. They're currently a half game back of the Tigers for that last playoff spot in the American League. In this game, they're going to hand the ball to Framber Valdez, who's 12-11 on the year, a 3.75 ERA. His last 4 starts, real bad. Gave up 5 earned runs against Seattle, 5 earned runs against Atlanta, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned against the Rangers, and gave up 6 earned runs against the Yankees. All of those games were losses for the Astros, so got to be pretty concerned here if you're an Astros fan in terms of his history against the Athletics. He did have a good start against them back in mid-June, but that's when he was throwing the ball great, and that is not what's going on right now. The Astros bullpen has been good all year long. A 3.66 bullpen ERA is nothing to turn your nose up at, but the offense has been atrocious. 0 runs through 5 innings in their current game. 1, 3, 4, 0, 5, and 6 over the few games before that. They're 24th in the majors in runs scored. They are 19th in slugging percentage. Does that sound like the kind of numbers from a team that deserves to play in the postseason? Kind of does not to me. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Athletics, who at 74-83 have been way better than I would have expected them to be this year in general. Now, that being said, they are eliminated from playoff contention. They're going to hand the ball in this one to JT Ginn, who's 4-6 on the year, a 4.57 ERA. His last 3 starts, though, have been very good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs against Boston. 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs against the Reds. And then 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run against the Angels. That's all looking very, very promising. We'll see what he can do here against the Houston Astros, a team he dominated back in late July. So I'm expecting pretty good stuff from JT Ginn in this game. Now, obviously, the bullpen for the Athletics has not been great this season, but it's looked better recently, down to a 4.53 bullpen ERA. The offense for this team, I mean, at this point, they're pretty banged up, so that is concerning, but they've been hitting the ball okay. They're leading their current game. They scored 5 runs in game 1 of this series. It seems like they may be busted out of that slump. They're 5th in batting average and 4th in slugging percentage in the majors this season. So, unfortunately, once again, and I'm not sure why, no numbers for this game, so I don't have enough to go on here. Obviously, Houston, a 500 road team. They're a slight under team. The Athletics, below 500 team at home and a slight over team at home, but I'm very likely to be leaning towards the Athletics here. I've hated what I've seen from Valdez on the mound, and he's got terrible history here against these Athletics. So the Athletics could end up being our dog of the day here. We're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, this is going to be a day where you're definitely going to need to be checking back on that pinned comment throughout the day. We just don't know when the odds makers are going to finally release these numbers. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Dodgers going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers are playing right now with the Dodgers up 3-1 there in the top of the 6th. So that means that our premium members did cash the under in the first 5 there. So well done them. Looking like a very, very nice premium day out there. Now, in terms of what we're going to expect to see in game 3 here, the Dodgers are going to hand the ball to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They're still 2 games up on the Padres, so I'm sure they're feeling pretty secure in their situation right now. And Yamamoto comes into this game 11-9 on the year, a 2.58 ERA. He's been dominant over his last 5 starts. Very, very good stuff. He faced the Diamondbacks back on the last day of August. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run allowed, struck out 10 and walked 0, and a 5-4 win there for the Dodgers. So I'm expecting Yamamoto to go out there and be very, very good in this outing. The Dodgers bullpen is improving, but a 4.33 bullpen ERA certainly doesn't put them in the elite category. The offense, 3, 4, 1, 7, 6, and 2 over their last few games is not as elite as you would hope they would be. They are 2nd in the majors in runs scored, 6th in batting average, so they should be fine at the plate. I'm expecting them to find a way to score some runs here against the Diamondbacks, who come into this game definitely in desperation mode. At time of recording, they find themselves a half game back of the Mets. So we'll see if they can get the win and make it happen in this one. They're going to hand the ball to Zach Gallen, who's 13-14 on the year, a 4.70 ERA. He's coming off an okay start against the Phillies. Actually a pretty good start. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. He did give up a home run, but struck out 9 and walked 2. The last time he faced the Dodgers, he was great out there. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, walked 3 and struck out 8 in a 3-0 win. So We'll see. I'm expecting Zach Gallen to go out there and be good. The Diamondbacks bullpen, on the other hand, is a little bit problematic. A 4.84 bullpen ERA is among the worst in the majors. The offense, though, is bailing them out recently. They've only scored 1 run in their current game, but 5, 9, 4, 2, 1, and 6 in their few games before that. They are 4th in the majors in runs scored and 3rd in slugging percentage. Honestly, hats off to this team for being so competitive after looking like they were just trying to sell everybody off and be bad there at the All-Star break. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Dodgers are plus 155 or minus 155. The Diamondbacks are plus 130, a total of 8.5 in this game. The Dodgers are 34-40 on the road, 41-32-1 to the under on the road. The Diamondbacks are 43-36 at home, 39-35-5 to the over at home. I'm going to be leaning towards the under in this game for sure. I also think no run first inning is very, very live in the spot. Both of those have a chance to make the pinned comment. In terms of a side, since I think this is going to be a very, very low scoring, close game, I will lean a bit towards the Diamondbacks, but I think those underplays are probably the better value in this one. Cruising right along here, guys. We're looking at the Miami Marlins heading to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Marlins had their, 7-game winning streak snapped there with an 11-1 loss against the Phillies yesterday. They've obviously been out of contention for a while. Well, not a while here, but they are almost eliminated now. They're still technically not eliminated. Still 4 games back there in the National League. So we'll see if they can hang on here, handing the ball to Jansen Junk, who's 6-3 on the year, a 4.27 ERA. His last start, he dominated the Rangers. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed. So very, very good stuff. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. Obviously, a little bit different of a challenge. He hasn't faced the Phillies yet this year, so we'll see how it goes. The bullpen for the Marlins, though, not great. 4.34 bullpen ERA has been a problem for them all year long. The offense has taken some steps forward. They are 15th in runs scored, so right there at MLB average, but 8th in batting average, 17th in on-base percentage. They scored 1, 6, 4, 4, 6, 9, and 8 over their last few games. So I do expect them to be able to get on the board here. They're taking on a Phillies team that, at 93-65 doesn't have a whole lot left to play for. The Phillies, definitely took care of business there very, very comfortably in the National League East. And, with 93 wins, they're 3 games back of the Brewers, so they're going to have a pretty difficult time catching them. But I do think this team is still technically trying to win. Although, if you're trying to win, you wouldn't hand the ball to Walker Buehler, who's 9-7 on the year, a 5.13 ERA. His last start, 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits. Oh, that wasn't even a start. That was a bullpen appearance. 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed there against the Diamondbacks. He had a good start against the Royals. We'll see what he can do in this start going up against the Marlins. Does he have any history against the Marlins this season? It does not appear that he does. So we'll see how it goes. Not in love with Walker Buehler on the mound, though, at any point. The Phillies' bullpen is also concerning. A 4.31 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense can put up, huge games like that 11-run game we saw in Game 2, but they haven't been swinging the bats that well down the stretch. They are 7th in runs scored. They're 2nd in batting average, and they sealed the first round bye there behind, 8 home runs. Will that happen again in this one? I'm expecting a drop-off for the Phillies. So looking at the numbers here, the Marlins are plus 140. The Phillies are minus 165. We've got totals out there of 9 or 9.5. The Marlins are 41-38 on the road, so pretty solid to be above 500 on the road. 41-36-2 to the over on the road. The Phillies are 51-25 at home. 40-32-4 to the over at home. I'm not really interested in the total in this game, but I'm definitely interested in the Marlins here at plus 140. I think even with Junk on the mound, they could potentially end up winning this game. The Phillies bullpen's bad. I think they kind of, shot there yesterday, hitting all those home runs and scoring 11. I think we're going to see a fall off from them in this one, so definitely give me the Marlins here as a potential dog of the day. Next up, guys, we're looking at a tragedy in motion. We got the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Tigers have lost another one. That brings them to 8 straight losses. They're now a full game back of Cleveland there in the AL Central. They don't have a confirmed starter for this game, and that's part of the reason we don't have numbers for this one yet. We'll see who they end up running out there. God knows if it's a bullpen start for Detroit. That's a disaster. Their bullpen is not very good. We'll see. It's looking real bleak. The offense has been terrible recently as well. 1, 2, 2, 5, 1, 1, and 0 over their last several games, guys. This is an epic collapse. This is an epic collapse here for the Tigers. So we'll see what they can do in Cleveland in this game. See if they can salvage a win in Game 3. They're going to be the Guardians are going to hand the ball in this one to Parker Messick. He's 3-0 on the year, a 2.08 ERA. The kid has just been on fire. His last time on the mound was pretty bad by his standards. 5 1/3 innings. 5 hits, 2 earned runs there, allowed in a 6-2 win against the Twins. he's just been looking great. He's given up 2, 1, 1, 3, and 0 earned runs over his last 5 starts. He doesn't have any history here against the Tigers this season, but I'm expecting him to go out there and be excellent. I'm expecting the Cleveland bullpen to be amazing as well. They're the 3rd best bullpen in the majors right now by bullpen ERA, and that is not a number that's headed in the wrong direction. Offensively, they're figuring it out too. 5, 5, 2, 8, 6, 6, and 3 over their last few games. Jose Ramirez is hitting the ball. Everybody's hitting the ball right now. They're 27th in runs scored this year, 29th in batting average, but all those numbers are just headed big time in the right direction for him. So unfortunately, no numbers for this game because of no starter confirmed for the Tigers, but I would be shocked if I'm not interested in the Guardians here. They're playing so well. The Tigers are collapsing. Mezik's been so good. I just think this is a spot the Guardians probably find a way to get yet another win. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The White Sox have lost each of the first 2 games of this series and 4 in a row. They're really fading hard here down the stretch. This team has done some good stuff this year. They'll hand the ball in this one to Davis Martin, who's 7-10 this season, a 4.03 ERA. His last start was against the Padres, 6 innings, 6 hits, and 3 earned runs against the Padres is not a bad day. And honestly, his last 5 starts have all looked pretty reasonable, except for his start against the Yankees back on the 28th of August. 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned and gave up 2 home runs. Doesn't exactly look great, and now he's got to face them at Yankee Stadium, so that's a pretty big concern in this spot. The bullpen for the White Sox hasn't been as bad as you would expect, but also has not been great, an ERA well over 4, and the offense, that's looked really bad down the stretch. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 7 over their last few games. They're all the way down to 28th in the majors in runs scored and 29th in slugging percentage. I know you guys aren't going to be shocked to hear this, but the White Sox not having the best time. They're taking on a Yankees team that's cruising right now. They're 90-68 on the year. They're now tied for the top spot in the AL East there with Toronto. They've won 4 in a row and 7 of their last 8. They'll hand the ball in this one to Carlos Rodon, who's 17-9 on the year, a 3.04 ERA. His last start, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed there against Baltimore. He's looked really good. His last start against the White Sox, the Yankees won that game 10-2. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, and 1 earned run. So really looking like a great spot here for Carlos Rodon and the Yankees in general. Their bullpen is a concern. A 4.45 bullpen ERA is not likely to hold up well in the postseason, but the offense might just slug them to wins. They've scored 8-3, 7-6, 2-7, 10, and 10 over their last few games. They're first in the majors in runs scored. They're first in slugging percentage. Yeah, Judge is now up to 51 home runs. This team can absolutely swing it. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the White Sox are plus 250. The Yankees are minus 310. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The White Sox are only 25-51 on the road this year, 44-29-3 to the under on the road. The Yankees, on the other hand, they're 45-31 at home, 40-34-2 to the under at home. I'm not going to take the under in this game because I think the Yankees could potentially get over this number all by themselves. I'm not going to take the Yankees at minus 310. That's a little bit too crazy even for a lock of the day play, but I would consider taking them at minus 1.5, or you can get them at minus 140. That seems very reasonable to me in a spot where I think they're just going to go out there and dominate. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Boston Red Sox headed to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Red Sox have won the first 2 games of this series. They're currently only 3 games back of the Yankees and the Blue Jays, and they currently find themselves in great shape there in the wild card race. They are 2 games up on Detroit, so they need to be winning these games, but they are in a pretty solid position. They'll hand the ball in this game to Brian Bello, who's 11-8 on the year, a 3.34 ERA, coming off a couple pretty mediocre starts. Honestly, his last 4 times on the mound haven't looked amazing. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned in a 5-3 loss against the Athletics. His last time on the mound wasn't great. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs against the Yankees the time before that. So, yeah, just not throwing the ball incredibly well. We'll see what he can do here against the Blue Jays. He hasn't faced them since late June, and he was okay in that outing, but the Blue Jays are looking completely different now. So we'll see what Bello can do. Obviously, the Boston bullpen's been fantastic this season, so whenever he has to come out of the game, they should be in good shape. The offense, they're hitting it great at the moment. 7, 4, 3, 6, and 11 over their last few games. Big time, big time to be hitting the ball well. They're 5th in runs scored, they're 4th in batting average this season, and they keep on hitting it. So we'll see if they can keep things rolling here against the Blue Jays, who are collapsing. They've lost 6 out of their last 7. They're now tied with the Yankees for the top spot in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Luis Varland. This young 27-year-old is sporting a 3.10 ERA this season. He's a bullpen guy, and we are looking at a full bullpen start here from Toronto. A 4.09 bullpen ERA doesn't fill me with tons of optimism. We'll see what Varland can do out there in his start. I don't know how long they'll let him be out there. I would be shocked if it was more than 2 innings, maybe 3. So we'll see. The odds makers love the Blue Jays here, so maybe we're missing something, but I don't feel great about this. The Toronto offense has been ice cold. 1-1-8, 1-1-0 over their last few games is pretty abysmal. They've been great at the plate this year, but not recently. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Red Sox are plus 125. The Blue Jays are minus 145. A total of 8 in this game. Boston's 40-39 on the road, 42-36 and 1 to the over on the road. Toronto's 50-26 at home, 44-30 and 2 to the over on the road. That's an MLB best to the over. In general in this game, guys, probably my favorite lean is just over 8, just straight up over 8. I think we'll see plenty of offense in this one. I'm not expecting Bello to be great. I'm not expecting Varland or that Toronto bullpen to be great. Keep an eye on this one. The line doesn't really make too much sense to me, but the total does make sense, so I will take the over. In terms of a side, I don't really show much value here. Maybe I'm missing something, so I guess I'll go with the Red Sox getting plus 125, but that's the smallest of tiny leans. I definitely think the over is the value. Next up, guys, we're looking at the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Mets come into this game in desperate need of wins. They're 81-77 on the season. They currently find themselves a half game up on the Diamondbacks, so yeah, it's looking really rough. They're trying to hold on to that last wild card spot. They'll hand the ball in this one to Nolan McLean. He's 4-1 on the year, a 1.27 ERA, coming off a weird start against the Nationals. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, only one of which was earned in what was eventually a 5-3 extra inning loss. So we'll see what he can do to keep this team in the mix. I don't believe, no, he hasn't faced the Cubs yet this year, so we'll see what he can do. This kid has electric stuff, and the Mets need every bit of it. The bullpen behind him, not having a great time down the stretch. A 3.95 bullpen ERA is pretty bad. Not what you want to see. The offense, 3-9, 2-3, 12, 6, and 4 over their last few games. They can hit it. They have those kind of good nights, but they're 9th in runs scored, 10th in batting average. We'll see what they can do here against the Cubs. Game 1 looked great at the plate. Game 2 looked terrible. In Game 3, they're going to be taking on a Cubs team who has kind of stumbled here at the end of the year. They don't have too much to worry about. They are already locked in there to the wild card spot there in the top of the National League wild card hunt. So I mean, we'll see. They do need to win these games still, technically. So we'll see what happens as they hand the ball to Shota Imanaga, who's 9-7 on the year, a 3.37 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned. Gave up 3 home runs in that game and a 7-4 loss against the Cincinnati Reds. So we'll see what he looks like here against the Mets. He's had a bit of a weird year, missed some time, been ineffective, been very effective at times. So we'll see. The Cubs bullpen, it's been great most of the year, but it struggled a bit down the stretch, up to a 3.83 bullpen ERA. The offense put up 10 runs in Game 2 of this series. That's great. 10-7, 0-3, and 4 over their last few. I mean, we'll see. They're 8th in runs scored this year. They're 14th in batting average and 11th in on-base percentage, and we all know this team has not been the same at the plate since the All-Star break. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Mets are minus 110. The Cubs are minus 110. We've got a total of 7.5 out there. The Mets are 32-44 on the road, 35-34 and 7 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 46-28 at home, 34-33 and 7 to the under at home. I'll actually lean towards over 7.5 in this game. That might sound crazy with these two dudes on the mound, but that's not the way things have been going recently. So slightly lean towards the under. In terms of a side, I will take the Mets here. I think McLean has been much better than Imanaga has been, and those Cubs bats have been pretty cold. So I do think the Mets have a decent shot in this game. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals heading to Los Angeles to take on the Angels. The Royals and Angels are actually playing right now in the top of the 7th inning with the Royals down 3-2. They need to be winning these games. It's too late. Just kidding. I forgot. Yeah, they are now eliminated. They're 5.5 games back, eliminated from playoff contention. So yeah, they're playing for pride at this point. We'll see what they can come up with as they hand the ball to Michael Lorenzen, who's 6-11 on the year, a 4.70 ERA. His last start, he was really good. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, and 1 earned run allowed in that 20-1 blowout win against the Toronto Blue Jays. That's probably one of his best starts of the year, and it hasn't been necessarily a banner year for Lorenzen. We'll see if he's got another good start in the chamber. The last time he faced the Angels, he was good back on the 2nd, so we'll see what he looks like. The Royals' bullpen's been good this year. A 3.63 bullpen ERA has not been a problem. The problem for this team has been their lack of offense. I know they just put up a 20 spot the other day. Congrats. Over the course of the year, they're 26th in runs scored. They are 22nd in on-base percentage. We've seen kind of a down year from Bobby Witt Jr., and just not enough. Just not enough from the Royals at the plate. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Angels. They're a team that at 70-87 has slightly overachieved on the year, but didn't make it anywhere important. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Mitch Ferris. This young 24-year-old lefty's 1-2 on the year, a 6.52 ERA. He got obliterated by the Rockies his last time out, struggled against the Mariners in a start before that. So we'll see what he can do here against the Royals. He did have success against them back on the 2nd, but we saw the Angels lose that game at 5-1 there in the end. So We'll see what he can do. Looking at the bullpen for the Angels, it's atrocious. One of the worst 3 or 4 bullpens in the majors this year. The offense has been terrible down the stretch. I mean, 3 runs in their current game, 4, 1, 3, 6, 2, and 2 over the few before that. They're 25th in runs scored. They're last in batting average, third to last in on base percentage. Like, this is a laughably bad team at the plate. So, looking at the numbers here, I'm a little bit shocked to see it listed as a flip. Both teams at -110. Totals out there of 9 or 9.5. The Royals are 36-40 on the road, 38-37-1 to the over on the road. The Angels are 37-39 at home, 42-30-4 to the over at home. Despite those trends, I can't believe there's 9.5s still out there, guys. Grab under 9.5 while you still can. There's not going to be a crazy amount of offense in this game. Lorenzen needs to be throwing the ball well. He's pitching for contracts. Ferris is pitching against a team he already has had success against this year and a team that's eliminated from playoff contention. I think we're going to see offense be at a premium. If you're begging me for a side, I will take the Royals, but I think under 9.5 is fantastic value in this spot. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Rockies and Mariners are playing right now with Seattle up 7-1 there in the bottom of the 7th, so they're looking really, really good, and the Mariners have to be absolutely thrilled with the way their season is ending. They've been playing great. They're 4 games up on the Astros, looking to be 4.5 after they win this current game. They are hanging on to stuff out there in the AL West. Very, very, got to be really, really cool after what happened to them last year to see this year happen. Now, the Rockies, they come into this game having a historically bad season. They'll hand the ball to Bradley Blaylock, who's 2-5 on the year, a 9.16 ERA. This young 24-year-old righty just got destroyed by the Angels his last time around, destroyed by the Padres the game before that, dismantled by the Diamondbacks. Like, you kind of see how this is going. He's not having a great time. The bullpen for the Rockies isn't much better. One of the worst 2 bullpens in the majors, and the offense has been atrocious. I mean, just not a lot of positives for a team that's lost 114, about to be 115 games this year. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Mariners, who do not have a starter confirmed for this game because it's looking like they're about to lock things up. Cal Raleigh trying to hit some more home runs. We'll see if he can get it to 60. That would be very, very cool. I mean, it's definitely not impossible. He's going to be trying to do it. I would assume they'll let him have, as many chances as they can get him. No confirmed starter, like I was saying. The bullpen has been good for Seattle this year, and I'm expecting them to be at least respectable in this game. Unfortunately, no numbers here at time of recording. Obviously, there's a chance we'll be wanting to fade the Rockies here once again, but if the Mariners kind of clinch everything and aren't going to be taking that game seriously, maybe we won't want to get involved in this one. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a very busy Thursday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you're checking that pinned comment throughout the day today. Lots of numbers still to come out in the MLB. Also, get over there to stumpthespread.com by clicking the link down in the description. Get on that free email newsletter. Check out all the premium stuff over there. It's a fantastic resource. Make it part of your sports betting routine, guys. We've got free college bets already up there for the week. It's a great, great resource. Just check that out every single day and you'll be on the right track. Guys, we'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.